Yellowstone was the first national park in the world when it was established in 1872. It is huge. We came in from the north end and first saw Mammoth Hot Springs Terraces. They were beautiful thermal features, real different than the rest of the park though. Here we got up to an overlook and you can see them in the distance. And this was during an Insta-meet where we met a bunch of new friends from Yellowstone social media. After that, we ventured into Lamar Valley in the northern range where there's tons of wildlife like this pronghorn. These bison just dot the meadows everywhere. Here's Trout Lake that we hiked up to. And then we met the wolf watchers. They were incredible and they even shared their scopes with us so we could watch the pups in their den. Next we made it to Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone, a huge, beautiful canyon with Lower Yosemite Falls and Upper Yosemite Falls, and the walls are just incredible colors. But then we got to the heart of the park, everybody's favorite Old Faithful. We got there super early in the morning, so there was a fraction of the crowds. We saw it erupt, and even against the gray sky, it was still breathtaking. Right on time, too. I think we watched it about 5 times during the day. Here you can see the crowds have really filled out. Just awesome every time. But there's a whole lot more to the Upper Geyser Basin. These fields of bacteria and thermophiles are little microorganisms that live in super hot and acidic or alkaline environments. You can see the geysers going off from way in the distance, and then you get close up and this is Castle Geyser there. But there's also pools of brilliant colors like Morning Glory. Here's Grotto Geyser. This just splattered everywhere. There's these steam vents.
Alright, cool. What are you looking at?
That's a good one.
Grand Geyser, tallest in the world. Predictable.
Tallest predictable one in the world.
A bunch of other geysers besides Old Faithful too. These only went off every couple hours, so we were lucky to catch them. This is Riverside Geyser in a beautiful setting. And after we got our fill of the geysers, we checked out the visitor center. There was so many cool exhibits. Super interesting to learn how everything actually works underground and how unique Yellowstone is as a one-of-a-kind area in the world. But we also checked out a bunch of other geyser basins like Black Sand and Biscuit. You can see the dead trees there. The beautifully blue-colored pools were breathtaking. My favorite, though, were the mud pots. I just couldn't get over the sounds. They're formed when there are a bunch of minerals up in the soil that gets melted by the hot water underneath. And this area just had incredible colors.
What you doing, Cole?
Take a steam bath.
The steam was everywhere. And here it was getting a little windy, and then more.
Hailing? Icing. Maybe a little bit of both.
Freezing rain?
Freezing rain.
Yeah, who knows?
Cole, do you think the snow's ever going to go away?
Doesn't seem like it.
But we were able to drive through it.
Oh, I love the little snow.
Lucky we did too, because the wildlife didn't care it was snowing. They were still out. We saw, again, tons of bison everywhere. The herd was cut down to 25 years ago, and now they're in the thousands. Here's some elk. They don't have their antlers anymore.
Go for it, little fox.
There's a coyote running along the meadow. And even though we couldn't step on the thermal features, the animals didn't care. they'd go anywhere. Right next to all those mud pots and geysers. Even on the road.
Hashtag Bison Jam. Bisonger.
There were so many different geothermal areas too. Mud Volcano here was really cool. It had these roiling mud pots.
I think that's the only blue we've seen all week.
And we also enjoyed getting the trail guides and learning about the features.
Spasm Geyser erupted for an hour or more until fountain eruptions, but now its eruptions are shorter and more frequent.
This was one of my favorites, the enormous Grand Prismatic Spring. There's even thermal features right on Yellowstone Lake at West Thumb. Geysers actually coming out of the lake. And I just couldn't get enough of these incredibly blue pools and hot springs. They're everywhere. But it finally came time to say goodbye, and Yellowstone sent us off with some frigid yet beautiful weather.